think public relations now has become very much more important in the whole scheme of corporate America. I think getting your messages out is more important than it's ever been, and getting it out straight. There's so many audiences, so many avenues, places to take it. But public relations it's all good for companies, it's all good for individuals, and it's all good for clarifying what's really going on. I thought the automotive business was the most exciting business in the world. It was a glamorous business to be in, it was an exciting business. You know, everybody has a car. Everybody remembers their first experience in a car. Everybody remembers the first car they owned. I think what I learned, though, from Ford, and that I kept with me my whole life is, well, really two things. One, get out ahead of the story. Don't let the story get ahead of you. That's really important. And two, don't hide from the truth. You know, if there is something that's happened negative, fess up. That's what I think people need to do. Just tell the truth. Don't hide from the truth. Get it out there. And communicate, communicate, communicate. When I went from Ford to Chrysler, actually with a stop in between at Ross-Roy advertising, people looked at me like I was a nutcase. What are you going to Chrysler for? Chrysler at the time had applied for the loan guarantees but hadn't received them. The last interview was with Lee Iacocca. 2.5 hours, just Lee and me. I didn't know him before. And he said, look, I'm looking for somebody who's willing to take a risk. I'm looking for somebody who's not afraid of a challenge. And he said, I don't know whether we're going to succeed or we're not going to succeed, but if we do, he said, there's an opportunity for you to really have a good career, make some money, and have a good life. And I said, how do you say no to that? So I went, and honestly, those 21 years, I've often told people that if you had to work for a living in the last quarter of the 20th century, and I had to work for a living, there was no more exciting place to work than Chrysler Corporation. Well, a lot of proud moments. This Statue of Liberty was one. Lee Iacocca was the chairman of the restoration in the bicentennial year and was charged with raising $100 million, raised over $400 million, and we were actively involved in that, helping him run that campaign. I learned something from him every time he would do an interview. I sat in on all his interviews for the last maybe 6-7 years that he was at Chrysler, and I learned something about the business or about life or about public relations every time. I have great respect for PRSA. And I think PRSA plays a really important role in broadening the understanding of what public relations is and increasing the recognition of its importance in business today. So I think PRSA does great work, and I'm proud to be part of it. My affinity is for public relations. My belief is that the value of public relations is in its own way greater, because I think public relations brings something that advertising can't, and that's called credibility. Public relations can explain things that advertising really can't. And I just think it's a really important profession, and I'm proud to be part of it, and I'm particularly proud to have the people who do it every day for a living who really understand it give me this honor.